Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Since the last episode, I have finished launching all of the rocket parts, or all of the spaceship parts, to the dry dock, with the exception of the command module and the faster than light drive. I'm going to go ahead and hide that for now. So the spaceship command research is being done. As soon as that's finished, then we can make the command center, not command module, but we'll make the command center and we'll get that up into space. We already have a rocket ready, and I've got 22,000 space science already saved up over here. And then back in the main base, I've got, let's see, I'm looking for it there in the list. I don't see it. Oh, okay. Actually, we're out of space science in the main base. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take that back with me. So as soon as the spaceship command research is done, then we'll make the command center and we'll get that launched. And then the only thing that we'll have left to put up into space is the faster than light drive, which we'll have to start doing more research on. Pardon me. So the faster than light is going to require a lot of research. So we'll have to do faster than light theory part A, which is 250,000 red science packs. We'll have to do part B, which is 250,000 red and green. We'll have to do part C, which is another 250,000 red and green plus 125,000 blue. And then finally, we will have to research the actual faster than light propulsion system, which requires an ungodly amount of science packs. And then we have to build the faster than light drive, which requires a lot of stuff. So it's going to be a while. But that's why we're doing this the SpaceX pack, because it's pretty interesting. And it gives us something more interesting to do in the end game than just doing mining research and robot speed. So, like I said, we're about halfway done with the research for Spaceship Command. It's fairly easy to make. You know, we've got all the components. I already did craft 50 efficiency module 3s. Okay, I've got those in my inventory, so those are ready to go once we get to that point. I did add the afterburner back onto my plane, and I also added a couple of roboports so that we can get a boost on our construction, so we can see that we've got a little roboport range here with the plane. And we're short on steel. That's interesting. How are we doing over here? I should really upgrade, or not upgrade, but I should really remove the smelting from the main base and put in electric furnaces, or just bring in plates from outside, but I guess I'll just keep this going for a while. Okay, in the meantime, I will get rid of our space science packs so that they can be used here in the base. You'll probably notice that my inventory is pretty huge now. That's because I loaded a new mod, which of course now I can't remember the name of it. Let's see. No, larger inventory is the name of the mod. And that mod was actually written by one of the Factorio developers. And it just doubles your inventory space. So I figured this late into the game, I don't feel too bad about doing that. And I definitely need the space. Okay, so the other major thing that I've been busy with since the last episode is with power. I've seen occasional spikes up to 1.7 gigawatts, at which point our power was not sufficient. So I've added 8 more reactors. So you can see that now we're using 1.3 and we've got quite a lot more capacity. So I think now we can go up to something like 3.2. Let me check my cheat sheet here. I've got 20 reactors. Yeah, so we can do up to 3.04 gigawatts. And while I was at it, I redesigned the whole thing. You may recall that I had hundreds and hundreds of pumps to get the steam from one turbine to the next. But I had gotten a suggestion that if you feed the turbines one into the next, then you don't need pumps in between, and the steam flows much better from turbine to turbine than it does through a pipe. So I kept the pumps coming out of the heat exchangers because I think those are still needed. But then once I get into the turbine, I put the turbines end to end instead of facing north and south. So essentially they're in series instead of parallel. And by doing this, I'm able to fit 2 rows instead of only one. So even though the turbines are longer when they're laid out this way, I can put the same number of turbines in 2 rows instead of just a single one. So it's actually a little bit more compact this way. And it's much simpler and easier to build since I don't need all those pumps and so many extra pipe. So it uses less materials and it works just fine. You can see down here at the end, the steam is, less than 100%, but that's fine. I've seen this go up. Well, I mean, before I expanded it, I did change it and I saw it go up to full power with no problem. So I know this works. Okay, so you can see we've got 20 reactors now. They're all humming away nicely. Yeah, and I have way more offshore pumps than I need, but I figured, what the heck, I'll just put a solid column of pumps on each side. That way we'll never lack for water. Okay, so we have the water going in, and then we have the steam coming out, going this way. All right, so we've got 20 now, and then, the reason I designed it this way, if you see my previous series, usually what I did is I built a 10 reactor setup, and then when I needed more power, I just built another 10 reactor setup next to it. But then you lose out a little bit on the neighbor bonus that way, because then you have 2 isolated sections of 10 rather than one continuous column. So what I like about this design is that I can continuously expand it. So when I want to add more reactors, in this case I added 8 reactors to what we had before, but and I'll probably continue just to add them in groups of 8 at this point. But all you have to do is copy this last one down and then expand this one with 6 more turbines and some additional heat exchangers on each side, and you're ready to go. And as I mentioned before, I left some extra space on the left side so that we could fit roboports in to make sure that all of our chests are being taken care of. Okay, so with this amount of power, we should be good for a little while. I do want to check consumption. Okay, so we're still producing uranium faster than we're consuming it, although the consumption number is starting to get close. And I'm sure that by the time we start maxing out, the 3 gigawatts will probably be consuming as fast, if not faster, than we're producing it. So we'll have to be careful about that and keep an eye on things. I do have 12,000 fuel cells produced, so we're not going to run out anytime soon. Yeah, and the other good thing is that if I do by chance start to run out of fuel cells and shut the whole base down, by having my fuel processing close to the reactors, I can always just, if I remove this power pole, it'll cut power from all the rest of the base, and I'll still have power to make more fuel cells. But I think this is definitely something that we want to stay ahead of. So one thing I could do right now actually is I could create a few more centrifuges so that we can process the uranium more quickly, and then that will allow us to hopefully generate more. So let's do that. Let's make 4 more. Let's see, how fast do these make? 4 seconds. That's no problem. We better do a stack inserter. Okay, there's some steel for you. Concrete and stuff will be on the way here shortly. All right, so with all that being done, the other thing that I had been doing a little bit in my spare time is upgrading modules from level 1 to level 3. I still have to do that at the copper mine, or at the copper smelting area. And when I do that, I'll be able to shorten these columns to 13 furnaces like I did over here in the iron area. And actually you can see even with 13, some of these things are, the last couple only activate occasionally, since we're completely filling those blue belts. But we got plenty of iron. Okay, there's 2. And we'll get a couple more here in a second. Okay, let me get some, I'll grab some gears to help us along. Okay, and that's it. Great. Okay, and then we can just replace that with a active provider, empty it out, and we're ready to go. And then I'm going to get rid of the concrete. I don't need to carry that around. And I get rid of a few of these other extra things that I picked up over time. Okay. So let's get in my now faster jet, and we'll go add a few more centrifuges to our operation just so that we can make fuel a little bit faster. And then, since the next thing we're going to have to do research-wise is the faster than light A, I think the next thing that we'll do is we'll start working on setting up a massive red science production facility. All right. And then we'll need to move this down so that we can get some more beacons in place. We could also put some more speed beacons. We could put some speed beacons down the middle here as well. Oh, I don't have any yellow belt. Okay. So, for example, if we did this, put in our productivity, and then another power pole. There we go. Yeah, and then we can almost, let's move these poles over by one. There, and then I can get a couple more beacons of speed in here. And speed that up even further. I guess I don't need to do that. That's fine. Okay, and then it looks like we might need to, with the extra speed, I think we're going to need to upgrade the inputs to fast inserters. Make sure these stay fed. Okay, and I've already doubled the request on uranium so that we have a full train's worth. With a 141 train, we can bring 8,000 at a time. So before I had it set to 8,000, so it would bring 8,000, and then it would only bring more when it was emptied. So at this point, we'll be needing more. So let's check production versus consumption of uranium ore. So that's not looking too good, right? We're consuming 1.8K a minute, and we're only making 1,000 a minute. Yeah, so we're probably going to need another couple of uranium mines. Let's see, where's the other one? Here it is. Yeah, I think we're going to need to add more uranium mines. So we have another one up here. There's a tiny one there. Actually, all my uranium mines are tiny. I wish I would have made them bigger. There's a big one up there. Here's another one over here. But yeah, they're not too big. I'm going to have to search for more uranium mines. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's all that we need to do here right now. Okay, so let's decide where we want to build red science. This looks like it could be a good space, or down here could be a good space. It's going to be using lots of iron. Yeah, so let's build it here. I'll put the iron loading on this side. And copper loading on the top. All right, so I'll go get my train, since that's going to be better for rail construction. Although I don't have a lot of rail to do. I could always just grab a few hundred sections of rail. That should be enough. Then we can move around a little bit more quickly. And we could take advantage of the roboports on my plane here. All right, so we'll put this will be our red science area. Let's start getting rid of these trees. What the heck? I don't want that. Okay, we'll let the termite bots do their thing, or the explosive termites, whatever you want to call them. I guess you want to call them explosive termites, since that's what they're actually called. Okay. And I might need a little bit of landfill. Oh, nice. And I just picked up a bunch of stone, so I can actually make some. Hopefully that'll be enough. Yeah, nice. Okay, so let's get our blueprint book. Where is it? I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was easy enough. Let me go over here and pick up this mining drill so that I can get rid of this alert. There we go. So those are the robots in the plane that are doing that. All right, I'll just go ahead and pick that up. All right, so we will do, as I said, we'll do iron here. So let's find an iron loading station, which I already have here, and we'll just copy it. I'll copy everything except for the belts. Or maybe I will copy the belts too. No, I'm not going to copy the belts because I'm not sure exactly where I want them to go yet. Okay, let's get rid of this extra junk over here. All right. I think this will give us what we need. Okay, let's just check that. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so we're going to call this Red Science Iron. Okay, and there's already a train on the way. Okay, and let's find a station receiving copper, which we have right here. Now in this case, I think I will copy the belts and the balancer since it comes out right in front. I think that's a configuration that I can confidently say that I'm going to use. Okay, and that's going to go here. I think I'm going to be short on silos. Okay, why are you not requesting? Oh, no, I don't know. Why is it not requesting? Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see, red, science, copper. Oh, okay, there's no request because there's no copper yet. All right, well, let's go get some more silos while we're waiting for that. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then I think I'll copy the same thing over here. Okay. So now we have to decide how fast we're going to be making the red science. And I think this is not, well, I mean, it's an easy decision, but I want to do it quickly, but I also want to do it at a pace that I can reasonably provide materials for. All right, so let's take a look at it in HellMod and see if we can come up with a reasonable number. Right, because we're going to have 250,000 of these. So if we do 1,000 a minute, you know, which is typical megabase size, it's still going to take, what's 4 hours, over 4 hours to make it. But we're also going to have productivity modules in the labs, which is going to help. So with 2 productivity modules in the labs, we get a 20% bonus on the science that we produce, or the research that we produce from the science packs. Pardon me. So, so with the productivity modules, we'll have to do 20% less research. So we'll have to do 200,000. So at 1,000 a minute, that's still going to be over 3 hours. So why don't we shoot for 2,000 a minute? And let's see what numbers we come up with on the calculator. All right, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to start deleting some of these production lines. I don't need these anymore. Okay, so let's add red science, and let's look for 2,000 a minute. Oh, now let's do 2,000 a minute, not per second. 2,000 a second would be pretty tough to achieve. All right, so if we do, we're going to do full modules. We're going to be doing beacons on both sides. So we can, all right, so 22 machines. And that's going to need 1,400 copper a minute and 1,400 gears per minute. So let's see what we're doing on copper right now. Okay. Yeah, so on copper we're making 16,000 a minute. So we can support this. And I think as long as we aren't launching too many rockets, we'll be okay. All right, so on the gear wheels, we're going to need 2 machines making gear wheels. I'm not sure we can feed them fast enough. Yeah, that'll take 2,000 plates a minute. I wonder how many blue belts that is. Here's the other thing I'm thinking. Maybe instead of doing this like I usually do, you know, with beacons on both sides, you can actually get more beacons if you set them up in another way. So I'll try to put this, yeah, this is close enough to the center. All right, so let's say this is red science packs. I think this is how you do it. And then 1 space. Yeah. See, so that way you can get 12 beacons on it. And the other nice thing about this is that you can feed the machine from all four sides, right? And then you tile it like that. So I think let's try it this way this time. All right, so in this case, it's going to be 12 beacons per machine. So that in that way, I would only need 15. I would still need 2 machines on gears. Okay, so let's put in productivity. Let's put in speed modules. And then let's see how we're going to feed this beast. 0.3 per second. No, that's not right, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is going to be 2.24 per second per machine. Let's see. Okay, looks like half a blue belt on each will be enough. Okay. Now, what about our gears? Now with the gears, I'm afraid that I might not be able to feed this thing fast enough. All right, 2 stack inserters going in and 1 stack inserter coming out. All right, let's go back for more beacons. And I might need more modules too. But for sure, I'm going to need the beacons. So let's request, I don't know, let's just request 200. I've got plenty of inventory. Get some more blue belt, and then we'll stop at the module shop on the way back. Let's label this. That's red science. All right, modules are due north. I think that we could use some more logistics bots up here. Okay. So 15. I'll set these up with, we'll do 16. 2, 3. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I probably, before I finish this, I should just set up the inserters and everything. Okay. So fast transport belts, I'm going to need, essentially I'm going to need 2 belts, 2 blue belts of iron coming in to each of these. Right, so we could do something like this, and then reverse it. Okay, yeah, and then that's an easy way to make sure that we get our we get our 2 stack inserters in. I'm going to move this. Okay, you can't move those with picker. Okay, and then let's see. And then honestly, I think I'm going to want 2. I think I'm probably going to want 2 inserters out. All right, so we'll do something like that. Okay. Now how do we power this? We're going to use substations. Here they are. Okay. Yeah, looks like we can do it this way. Okay, something like that. All right, now in this one, we're going to need, let's see, fast inserters. Okay, so we can use fast inserters on the ins and outs on these. All right, so we can do, yeah, we'll just do 2 in like that. And then how about belts? Oh, okay. And then since we're going to have 8 of these across, we can bring in copper. Like that. Okay, and then maybe we can just do red belts on the outputs. Let's see. Fast transport belts. Yeah, we'll just do reds going out. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, yeah, so we'll do red belts going out. And I'll make the one on the bottom a near inserter. Okay, so 4 belts of iron. So I'm basically, what I'm just going to do is I'll take 1 belt from each of these output splitters. There, that's kind of a pleasing pattern. Okay, and then we're going to need 8 belts of copper. All right, so let's copy this now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, and I can't believe I had enough materials for that. And then we can remove those on the ends. I did forget something though, didn't I? And I'm going to run out. Crud. All right. Okay. So everything's powered up. I am going to need some more stuff. But in any case, this is going to come down like that. This one's going to come down like that. Nice. And I know I could be using the brush to make this easier, but I feel like I could do this a little bit faster this way. Whoa. Okay. So now we're making mad science packs. Where's my plane? Let's go get some more blue undergrounds, and then we'll come back and finish this up. And then we'll figure out how many belts I need going out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. There we go. And I can see that my train network is very busy, which means that I might need to think about adding more trains. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see what this says. Items per second. No, items per minute. Okay, 2,150. Awesome. Let's see. Fast transport belts. So these 8 red belts I should be able to compress down to 2, which is quite easy to do. And do I have enough room here for the output station? Let's see. Where do I have a 1-4 output station? Here's one. But I would prefer one on the side. No, those are input stations. I want a 141 output station that's on the side. I guess I don't have one. All right, so we'll just copy this. I'll have to remove the Nixie tubes so that I can rotate it properly. There we go. And actually, I would prefer for that to be on the bottom side instead of the top. But that's okay. I can just copy that and move it down here. Okay. It's going to be a tight fit, but we can make it work. All right, and then I'll get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. I don't think I need this. Or that. Or that. Huh, that's strange. You know what? I misaligned the whole thing. That's my problem. All right, let's try that again. Where was it? Here? No, wasn't there. Which one did I use? All right, I'll use this one. Except for the express inserter inputs and the Nixie tubes. All right, let's try this again. There we go. And somehow I got a train also, which I didn't want. There we go. Then we copy this. Yeah, let's include that. Okay, and then I can get rid of all this. All right, so that's time. I'm gonna finish this up offline, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.